everyone, welcome back to another video. I've been wanting to make this video for a very long time, but I've just been waiting for the right time to talk about it. It's probably one of my favorite events that ever took place on board Yacht Arience, and it's still kind of with us now. So before I hand you over to Bex to talk about the entire story, I want to give a little bit of backstory about when this took place, because it may answer a few questions for you guys. When I left Yacht Arience, all of this was taking place at this exact moment. So I ended up back here and Rebecca was still overseas, and many of you guys were asking me what's happening with Bex, why is she not with you, what's her plans moving forward, is she staying on board? And all of these things were a blur to all of us because we didn't quite know the answers because of this circumstance taking place. Now I'm going to hand you over to Bex when she was still on board, kind of explaining the entire story about how my now apartment with Bex has turned into an entire art studio by one simple request from a super yacht owner, the owner of Arience, that has led to my girlfriend just being like painting her entire life away. But I want you to realize that it took right up to the point where I was leaving Arience for this to happen, because if you remember correctly and if you followed the Arience videos, we only met the owner of Arience 7 months in to our contracts on board. And when we did, and when she did, this is what happened.
Not your average art studio, if I do say so myself. Right, so where do I start? About a month ago, definitely the coolest thing in super yachting happened to me. I feel very fortunate to have this. So about a month ago, I was on my break and one of the stewardesses came in and called me and they said, "So sorry to disrupt you, but the owner of the vessel has asked if any of the stewardesses are artistic." And I said, "You," and he said, "Can she come up because we need someone's opinion." So I love art, so I was like, of course yes. It was a no-brainer for me. So I quickly got changed, my hair was still wet, I was like rushing around, go up, and I admit I was really nervous. I was like, what are they going to ask me? How much of a professional opinion do they want? Do they want to know art history? Are they going to ask me what art? Like, my brain was obviously just going crazy. And I got up there and they just asked my opinion on a painting, a couple of paintings, which ones I preferred, what I liked, what I thought. So it was very relaxed, very, very nice conversation. And they turned around and said, "So you're artistic, do you paint?" So I was like, "Yes." And then they asked me about my background, what I painted, and if I went for schooling, and all kinds of questions, just basically getting to know what I've done. And then the owner turns around and says, "Oh, we should commission Bex to do some art." And I just laughed because I honestly thought he was joking. It was a bit of an awkward, it was like, "Ha!" And then I was like, wait, is he serious? Is he not? What is going on? And we carried on walking around the boat. I just laughed it off. And then he turned around and he said, "So have you got pieces you can show me? Like photographs on your computer?" And I was like, "Yes." He's like, "Okay, well go and get them and then show me." And I was like, oh my gosh, what? So I was racing and I run down to my cabin, and I don't have a folder of all my artwork collectively on me. It's on an external hard drive somewhere. So I'm like, oh my gosh, so I quickly try to make a folder, going through all my photos, grabbing photos, like, and then I hear the captain on the radio, "Bex, Bex, where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm coming," like frantically shaking, trying to get photos together, really trying to look for my best pieces. And he's like, "Bex, they're waiting, they've been waiting for 7 minutes." Did what I could, went up, tried to stay cool and calm, and I'm sitting down next to him like, "Oh," so we start going through, he's like, "Oh wow, that's really good, oh, you've done such a variety, da 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 da." And he stops on this painting that I did, I'll try and get Jared to put it in now, of a lion. And he was like, "Oh, you know what? We should get it to paint Duncan." I'm like, who's Duncan? And he looks at me, he's like, "You can paint dogs." And I was like, "Yes, of course I can paint dogs." He's like, "Oh yeah, okay, well let's do that. You can paint my dog." And I was like, actually borderline having like a meltdown inside, dying with joy. And I was like, I would love to, I'd be flattered. Anyway, so we carried on talking, and they decided on a space that they wanted it. They wanted about this big, and so anyway, a couple of days later, he gets his dogs brought on board and I meet them. It's so cute. So I snapped a photo on my iPhone of Duncan, and I go down and in my break, and later that evening I spent a couple hours and I did like a sketch of him, and I went to the owner and I was like, when your dogs were here yesterday, I took a photo, I just did a quick little sketch just to start, getting to know his features. And he's like, wow, how long did it take you to do this? And he asked me a couple questions, and then he's like, I'd like to take that sketch and show someone. Anyway, so a couple of days pass again, and he comes back, he's like, so we decided that, that sketch was really good. We'd like you to do, instead of just Duncan, we're thinking we're going to do a montage of both dogs, because he has 2 dogs, and we're going to put it in the cinema. And the cinema painting is this big, so 4 times the size, 2 dogs. I was over the moon, I still am over the moon, and yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at now. So I just feel super, super honored, and it reminded me how much I love art, and to be able just to paint, and honestly just to be appreciated for something that you love so much, it just means the world. For someone to acknowledge your talents, not that you need external acknowledgement, but it's just to have something that you love so much recognized. It just feels unbelievable, and I think that's what people mean when they say do what you love, and follow your passions, because honestly it just sparks so much joy. So yeah, I got to paint the owner's dogs of a superyacht, and I am still over the moon.
So why was this such a unique opportunity for you personally?
In a broad sense, it's unique because to have a piece of art from an up-and-coming artist in a yacht with high caliber of artwork, that's obviously unique in itself. It's self-explanatory. But for me it was more a validation of something that I love and my passion, to know that it is possible to do it as a career, which is something that I never thought would happen. I always just, or never allowed myself to believe that I could. It was always just put aside as a passion. So for me it was the validation that was really important.
And obviously, I know your backstory, but the reason why you believed you needed to give up on that dream was because?
It's just art's really hard to pursue as a career. You don't know if you're going to make it. You don't know how many years it's going to take before you start getting noticed or people start showing your work in galleries. So it's a high risk career, and for someone who doesn't have a lot of money backing them, it's really hard to just jump into it, to take a risk, unless you're like you, who's a naturally risk-taking person.
Well, now your art is displayed on board a massive super yacht that everybody knows about, in amongst some phenomenal other pieces of art. One hell of an opportunity, right? Just before I end off, a few of you may have recognized and seen that this video is sponsored by Squarespace. This is a particularly strange one to sponsor by Squarespace, but the reason why I've done it is I'd like to provide one of you watching this an opportunity to own a piece of Rebecca's art. I'd love to see where it ends up in the world. And so with that said, I am personally providing a $350 discount on any one of Rebecca's paintings. It's a purely first come first serve, so have a look down below. By having Squarespace jump in on this, it's made it a little easier for me to provide you with a discount code like that. So link down below if anybody has an interest in purchasing one of Rebecca's beautiful pieces of art, effectively done by an artist that now paints for owners of super yachts. All right, everybody, onto the sponsor of this video. From websites to online stores, marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to help you build a beautifully crafted website for your business. For those that don't know, Squarespace is designed around their beautifully crafted modern template. Literally anyone can make a website of their own, whether it's for an online store or just to create an online presence for your company. It is incredibly easy for absolutely anybody to get in and build their own website. No install, no upgrades, no patches ever. Every Squarespace template is designed around all major content types, including pages, blogs, galleries, and more. So head over to squarespace.com for your free trial, and when you're ready to make a purchase, just use the promo code squarespace.com/Jared Watney for 10% off your free website or domain. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video and for providing one of you guys an opportunity to own a piece of Rebecca's art minus $350. Link down below for all the details. Well, I hope this video brought you guys a smile and I don't know, just maybe encouraged you to just chase after the thing that you love doing. And to anybody that can give somebody an opportunity to do something and to earn their stripes somehow, or become an artist, or do something that they love, give them that opportunity, because I have now witnessed firsthand how happy it makes somebody when you give somebody a shot. So thank you so much to the owner for turning my girlfriend into a full-time artist. My apartment looks incredible and her website looks incredible. It's actually built by Squarespace, so please go and have a look at her website. And once again, $350 off to the first person that uses the promo code. All information is linked down below. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.